Oh, hello. Sorry about that. I was reading Amazing Grace again because I'm absolutely fascinated by how many different characters Grace likes to play. I'm just reading now. It says she went into battle as Joan of Arc. She wove a wicked web as a Nancy the Spider-Man. She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy. She crossed the Alps with Hannibal and 100 elephants. We learnt about that last Friday, didn't we? She sailed the seven seas with a peg leg and a parrot. She was Hiawatha sitting by the shining big sea water, and Mowgli in the back garden jungle. And then it also says, but most of all, Grace loved to act pantomimes. She liked to be Dick Whittington turning to hear the bells of London town, or Aladdin rubbing the magic lamp. The best characters in pantomimes were boys, but Grace played them anyway. Now, yesterday we read the story Aladdin, and today I thought we could read the story Dick Whittington. And here is Grace pretending to be Dick Whittington. Let's look at the story. Dick Whittington. Dick Whittington was a poor boy who didn't have a mother or a father. He was so poor that he decided the only thing to do was seek his fortune in London, where people said the streets were paved with gold. When Dick arrived in London, he couldn't find the fabled golden streets anywhere. He couldn't even find a few pennies for a loaf of bread. Tired and hungry, he was sleeping in a doorway of a merchant's house. Finding him there, the merchant took pity on him and gave him a job in his kitchen. The cook did not like Dick Whittington at all. She used to beat and pinch him while no one else was looking. She made his days miserable. At night, he was bitten and pinched even more by a gang of London rats. The only thing for it was to buy a cat so at least he could sleep at night. What a cat he bought! It was the best rat catcher in all of London. At last Dick had some peace and quiet. One day, the merchant announced that he was going on a long sea voyage. He asked everyone in his house if they would like him to take anything on his trip to sell. All Dick had to sell was his cat, but the merchant promised that any money from the sale would go to Dick. Without his cat, Dick was plagued by the rats even more, and with the merchant away from home, the cook was even meaner. He decided to run away. As he ran through the streets, Dick heard the bells chime in all the churches, and they seemed to say, "Turn again, Dick Whittington, Lord Mayor of London." Dick thought that if the rhyme was true, and he was to be Lord Mayor, then he had better stay in London, and so he went back home. Across the other side of the world, the merchant had made friends with the king and queen, who held a huge feast in his honour, but the feast was eaten up by a pack of rats. The merchant announced that he had the best rat catcher in all the world and sold Dick's cat to the king and queen. They were so impressed that they gave a whole ship full of gold for the cat. Returning home, the merchant gave Dick all the money from the sale of his cat, just like he promised. He even let Dick become a partner in his business, and the two became very rich together. In time, Dick did become the Lord Mayor of London 3 times. The bells had known it all along. The end. Here are some questions about the story that we've just read, Dick Whittington. Why did Dick Whittington go to London? Who gave Dick Whittington a job in a kitchen? What is a merchant? What did the cook do to Dick Whittington? How did Dick Whittington put a stop to the rats? Where did the merchant go? Why did Dick Whittington decide to run away? Why did he decide to stay? How did the merchant get a whole ship full of gold? How many times did Dick Whittington become the Lord Mayor of London? You can answer these questions either by going back through the video and watching it again, or I will put a link to the story on my Twitter page. It would be fantastic if you could please upload your answers to the questions onto either my Twitter page or the Clifton Twitter page. I hope you enjoyed today's story, and I also hope you enjoyed the story Amazing Grace. Isn't it amazing how Just through reading one book, we could find out so much more about other stories and other characters. That's one of my favourite things about reading books. They can give you so much information and knowledge. On that thought, have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you, and bye-bye.